This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello and welcome to a special edition of Between the Ropes. I am Big B, followed by my trio of, I guess my tag team over here. We'll call ourselves a trio, but
Yeah.
Chris Jake, how you doing, bud?
Doing good. Wrestling is heading into the new year, and we're here for the awards.
We are.
Yep. And the EST down there, she's the leader of the pack. Chris, how you doing?
Doing good. Just ready to talk wrestling and give out these awards.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, it's always fun to do these award shows. This is, Chris, what, our fourth annual?
Fourth, I think. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, well, let's actually talk about some matches first. I haven't been on in a while, so honestly, like we kind of said backstage, I haven't really thought there's been too much hype since War Games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens is kind of heightened their rivalry a little bit. So, Chris, what do you think? What do you think's been going on since War Games?
Yeah, since War Games, I think they've just been building up to Netflix, the premiere of that.
Mm-hmm.
Really focusing on, that show. A lot of people are thinking that it's going to be, WrestleMania-esque, where it's going to be big matches. I think the Raw Women's Championship or
Women's World Championship.
Is now going to be a street fight.
No, Last Woman Standing is what they termed it as.
So it's a ladder match, isn't it?
Nope.
No, that's for Cody and
KO.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
And that's that one's at the Rumble, but they're really mainly building up for Netflix, and I think SmackDown's going to have some changes with now being 3 hours.
Yep, starting January 3rd.
So. Yeah, Kristen, what do you think? What do you think's last few weeks on wrestling has gone?
It's been pretty interesting how they're building everything up to Netflix on January 6th. You got Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. You've got Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa in what they call tribal combat for the Ula Fala, that red flowery thing. But they're really building it up to where it feels like it's peppers. Yeah, it feels like this Netflix premiering on Netflix is gonna be big. Is gonna be a big deal. Kind of WrestleMania-like, in my opinion.
Yeah, they are
be in LA first of all.
So they better have a stacked card and some good matches because they're hyping it up pretty good.
You also have Seth Rollins versus CM Punk
on Netflix. That's been anticipated for a while because of the real life animosity between these two.
Yeah, it'll be interesting on how that actually plays out. I mean, do they just tell them to, be safe, but, go at it like they did CM Punk and Drew in the Hell in a Cell match? And,
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see if it gets to that point.
Yeah. So
be a little scared.
I mean, do we see a Tiffany cash in on the first Raw? I mean, I haven't seen it yet. I mean, we got one more Raw. I guess it's at the end of the year. So
She teased it for the Raw premiere,
Mm-hmm.
and then she also teased it on an episode of NXT, saying she could
Right.
cash in at NXT.
She also teased it Friday night on SmackDown. Would have done it too if Candice LeRae had not stopped her. But you did hear Tiffany say, "But I want to be champion." So it makes me think she's reached that point where she's gonna have to. She knows she's gonna do it. I mean, but we'll see what happens.
And then they kind of teased on SmackDown who attacked Jade Cargill.
Yep.
My money's on Banks. Not Banks. Belair.
Bianca.
That's where my money's at. We've seen the storyline play out before.
Mm-hmm. I've heard.
My next option would be Naomi.
And here's a total shot here. And this is some people have been. This has been rumored about on social media. What about Charlotte? Big question is, what would she have to gain by taking Jade out?
But why would she attack them? She hasn't been on in a while.
If they do pull that swerve and have it be Charlotte popularity, somebody comes in and kind of jumps to the top of the food chain already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Charlotte's due back. Becky Lynch is due back.
Becky Lynch is going to be at Raw.
Yeah. She either is going to be there or she's going to be there and be on camera. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah.
Is what's being reported.
I know there's been a lot of reports they've been trying to figure out a way to turn Belair heel.
Mm-hmm.
This obviously would be the turning point, but we will see. I mean, Charlotte could be a outside effect on that. I didn't think about that one.
Yeah.
So
she did post something on her Twitter account using the caption, "It's all about the game and how you play it." I'm like, it's interesting. She's quoting
that's the game.
Line from Triple H's theme song.
Yeah.
And how many days is the Rumble? I guess
it's February. Rumble is February 1st, so it's a little over
how many
a month.
days is that?
So I thought I read Logan Paul retired from pro wrestling.
Supposedly.
And now he shows up at the premiere party, whatever.
He's a new signing of Raw. Mm-hmm. But he's going to be wrestling. He's going to be wrestling less right now because he's in a big profile boxing match.
Okay. When? I didn't hear about it. I know he was down there last month when his brother Jake fought Mike Tyson.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, because that threw me off that he showed up there. Because I'm like, I just read and I thought you confirmed it on your podcast. I mean, and that's one thing. WWE ain't no fools. I mean, they know where the money's at too, so they can get Logan Paul to say he's retired, but then, I'm going to show up on Raw now, be part of Raw. I don't know what you guys think, but I think the guy's got some talent. I don't like the guy, but he's got some talent.
There's no doubt he's got talent. I just think he's an idiot. That's all.
Yeah.
I just think he's an idiot.
We all know he's Dragon Viper's, favorite wrestler now since Matt Riddle's gone. So.
Right.
But
I expect him, Dragon Viper, come in and say, "Please, I deny everything."
Yeah, we don't care what he thinks. So, so I mean, honestly, they haven't. I mean, if I recall, the only person that announced that he's in the Rumble,
Cena, I probably. I don't know. Okay. I haven't heard.
Yeah, normally we get half the field.
We do.
Announcing, and nobody's announced. So
yeah, I mean, usually
I think people announce. Hey, and who knows? Maybe they don't announce who's in the Rumble as much.
Yeah, I mean, especially nowadays when you have this has already happened where somebody leaked these supposed Women's
Yeah.
Royal Rumble order, and I'm like, this is such BS. Why are you even?
Yeah, I saw one where John Cena comes in 12th and wins it. The Rock comes in 31st and is the runner-up, and
those
that's
leaks.
one thing
Those leaks. And the only
like
thing I'm thinking is who has the time to write out all 30 competitors on both sides, and who has the time to say so and so is going to win, and then you put it out on the internet.
Yeah. Well, the thing is I mean, I like the internet. That's how we all.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it has its good side and its bad side.
Yeah, yeah. When it comes to that, you don't know what to believe anymore. So, and of course, Dragon Viper believes it all. So
yeah.
So all
right.
Saw
that Lake Women's Royal Rumble already be like.
That's right. So Logan Paul's supposed next boxing match is against Conor McGregor.
Rest in peace, Logan Paul, because Conor McGregor will kick your you-know-what. Wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't.
So speaking
Floyd
of
Mayweather, I mean,
pay-per-views and stuff, Chrissy, I know you kind of been watching AEW a little bit. Did you catch the pay-per-view last night? How was it?
Yeah, I watched some of World's End on last night, and there was about 3 or 4 matches on the card that were actually good. The main event was to me a dud.
Okay.
It was a dud, but they did get 2 big returns. One is FTR, Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, and then we know is Edge is back.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. He came back.
And John Moxley got a taste of what it's like to have a piece of a chair in his mouth.
Yeah.
Somebody
that might be a good rivalry, FTR Edge versus Moxley and his little group of people.
Death Riders, yeah, that whole thing with that group has, to me, been a bust because
who's the lady
I don't see
in that
what
group?
the end game is, and I've talked about it with some other folks. So,
who's the lady in the group?
Who's the leader?
The lady.
The late Marina Shafir.
Okay.
She's a MMA fighter. Yeah, she's one of Ronda Rousey's friends.
Gotcha.
Also, buddy with Shayna Baszler too.
Okay, I thought I saw her out, but I couldn't pinpoint it.
Yeah, she did something that only one other woman has done: is taken a dude's finisher. Remember Becky Lynch a few years back took the end of days from Baron Corbin. Marina Shafir took Switchblade Jay White's Blade Runner finisher and took it like a champ, which I will give her credit for, even though I've found her role in the Death Riders to be mostly as kind of like the female enforcer, meant to look mean and menacing. And I'm like, I'm not afraid of you. I don't care if you can hit me in the face and break my nose. I don't care. I'm not scared of you. I'll laugh at you.
Yeah.
I can't take her seriously.
Right now, from what I've seen in lately, since Ricochet's gone to AEW, I don't like how they're using them.
Well, he did turn heel. He started to become a cocky heel, and then Swerve Strickland pissed him off by doing something that folks in New York City were doing to him. I think a couple weeks ago. Toilet paper. They were throwing toilet paper at him, and Swerve pissed him off by having the crowd throw toilet paper at him, which was hilarious.
No, I saw that. I just don't like the character. I just don't like.
I know we've gotten used to Ricochet as a good guy, and I think this might be a nice change of pace for him. Kind of get him going as one of the as a big time heel in AEW if they play the cards right on with him.
Yeah, it could.
We'll see what happens. But the toilet paper, that was funny.
And one thing on AEW, I haven't watched much, but you know how we talked about Netflix and WWE's deal. AEW has their new deal where they're streaming on
Max.
I think TNT, TBS, and Max. Yeah.
Yes. Simulcast.
And they're going to put the archive of AEW up on there starting in January.
Yeah.
Like starting the first.
Yeah. Yeah, the first episode of I think is AEW done. It's going to be simulcast on TNT. It's going to be simulcast. It's going to be their Fight for the Fallen special episode. And it's going to be in North Carolina, which is really significant for FTR because they're from that area. Edge lives near that area, and that was just devastated by hurricanes. So it means a lot to those three guys that they do that show there and help raise money to help the people there. Because that's what Fight for the Fallen's been about since it started.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, if there's not much more to cover, I mean, I know it's just three of us. I figured maybe Dragon Viper show up, but we can almost predict what his wrestling categories are. So
certain individuals we dislike, he thinks are great, and certain individuals we like, he thinks sucks.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's get into it. Let's get into our awards. Crispy, we'll start with you and the Crispy Bacon Award of Tag Team of the Year.
Oh man, a lot of good tag teams. We'll go DIY.
Okay. All right. Christy, who's your Tag Team of the Year?
I'm probably going to go DIY. The unexpected heel turn and then beating the Motor City Machine Guns to get the titles back was brilliant. It solidified it for me.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, guys, I have my list on my computer here.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly could not think of one. I was looking all over, trying to see what other people have put out there. Honestly, DIY, I think you nailed it with that heel turn. Got the titles, stuff like that.
There was a swerve because they were really building up to see if they could strike lightning again by having a feud between Ciampa and Gargano, but instead you had both guys turn on the Motor City Machine Guns and get a title as a result of it.
Yeah,
you could also
done.
You can also say similar, not a heel turn, but
and we all know that Dragon Viper's Team of the Year is RK Bro still, even though they haven't had a match in like 3 years.
Exactly. But the War Raiders.
War Raiders. That was another one I was thinking. Like, I wonder if I should say them, because they finally got the chance, and they are now World Tag Team Champions on Raw. They're a great tag team. Their gimmick has been wrong. Their booking.
Yeah, I was thinking,
and they finally got it back.
I didn't put them up there just because they just
won it.
No,
they just won.
They haven't had a couple matches since they've been back. So,
but DIY's been pretty consistent
they
through the year.
Deserve it. Yeah, DIY for sure. So, all right, Chrissy, your return of the year.
Return of the year. Holy crap. Oh my Lord. I would have to say, and this just happened last night, I'm going to go Edge. Adam Copeland coming back from the injury he sustained against Malachi Black in a steel cage match, and coming back and now making his intentions known of who he's going after. I mean, that's badass in itself, but that's my award, even though he did just come back last night.
Yeah, that actually was a good. I saw the highlights. That was actually a good one.
That was cool.
Chris, your big return of the year.
I'm kind of going to go off at two, one on men, one on women's side.
Okay, go ahead.
On the men, I would probably say Andrade, because he hadn't been, in the company for a while.
At the Rumble, he returned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and same thing with Naomi. She was in TNA, for a little bit, and then
point for her.
Yeah, and then she, also returned at the Rumble.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I was completely forgot she'd been in TNA for a while. That's why I didn't say her.
Yeah. Of course, Dragon Viper's return of the year is Randy Orton for that short-lived return.
It's okay.
My return,
driver. Oh dear God.
My return of the year. I got to go with the Y6. I think their return rumored, and then it was like prolonged, and then they finally showed up. And the way they brought them back.
Well, you can end up seeing who they are.
Chad Gable and his crew.
Wow, American Made, yeah.
And then now Final Testament. So I definitely think their return, and I like what they're doing right now. So
yeah, it's been pretty good so far.
All right. So, match of the year, Chris. What is your match of the year?
Match of the year. I would go with night one, the tag team match of WrestleMania with Cody and I think it was Seth
It was.
versus Rock and Roman.
Ooh, yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Chrissy, how was your match of the year?
Main event night 2 WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Bloodline Rules.
Okay.
So it was just so many intricate stories being told in this one match.
Yeah, no, that is right. There was a lot of
Everything seemed to everyone complains about long-term booking, long-term storytelling. In terms of long-term storytelling, everything in that match, it just came together just right.
well, and then how they, threw in, the
Mhm.
Rock to come in.
Yep.
And then, of course, the lights
And then
went
the
up,
Undertaker turned around. And they
shows
did
up.
have some beef for a little bit. It's just
Yeah.
everything. And also, Undertaker, if you think about it, he's been battling members of Roman's family, like his dad, his uncle, Rikishi, for a long time.
Yep.
So you gotta put that all together. Like I said, it's just everything came together. Long-term storytelling. It was beautiful.
Okay. And before we get to mine, Dragon Viper's match of the year is in his dreams when he faces Brock Lesnar. So
I think it's F5 and they'd be like, thank you, sir.
So my match of the year, I actually got 2, and one is more, it's an honorable mention because I was at it's a local wrestling event here, MAW, Grand Slam 6, which is their big WrestleMania style. They go all out. Ooh. And they had a match in there for the world, their championship. And if you guys have a chance, go to YouTube, type in Mid All-Star Wrestling Grand Slam 6. Paul Burke versus the champion JDX, which I'll tell you guys right now, JDX will be a household name sooner than later. It had the big match feel. The crowd got in it right away. The two wrestlers stood there, took it all in. The match was great. Had interference. Had JDX turn at the end of the match on Paul Burke because Paul Burke beat him. Ooh, had a great heel turn. So if you guys ever get a chance to watch that on YouTube, check it out. Great match. But my match of the year is the Hell in a Cell match with Drew and CM Punk.
That was really good.
Oh, that was a good match. Yeah,
so good. I mean, you could literally feel the animosity between these two as they're going at it in that Hell in a Cell match. Like you could feel they really told that story really well.
And I think we're going to get that same feel with Seth Rollins and CM Punk. I think we're going to get that same feel. That's why if WWE smart, Triple H is smart, just tell them to be safe, but go do whatever you guys want.
Yep. Just go out. Just
no limitations.
Last man standing.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. All right, let's go to the heel of the year.
Ooh.
Chrissy, your heel of the year.
Drew McIntyre.
Wow.
It's got to be, to me, Drew McIntyre. You beat Seth. You poke the bear one too many times with Punk. And he could cash in on with Damian Priest. It'd be pretty PO'd as well. And then, we finally we mentioned your match of the year was Punk versus Drew and Inside Hell in a Cell. And goddamn.
Okay.
His heel work has just been, to me, Drew McIntyre's heel work has just been top notch, in my opinion. I didn't know he could go that far, but he went that far, and he's rolling with it.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. I like that one. Chris, your heel of the year.
My heel of the year would probably be Dom Mysterio. Only because of the beef he has with the fans, so to speak, or the fans have with him.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get a word in edgewise.
Nope.
And then I guess an honorable mention. It's a tag team. Most recently switched over. I guess.
Yeah.
The New Day.
And the thing is I know we give Dragon Viper a lot of slack, or at least I do. But if there is no way that Dom Mysterio is on his list for heel of the year, I don't know what else to think.
Nah. I mean, this is the same guy. Not only got massive heel heat, he's also. It was also during holiday.
I got two. I'm going to go first with AEW. I'm going Jon Moxley. What he's doing right now is
it would be better if he didn't pour the people
there.
behind him. He can be a great heel on his own.
Yeah. Yeah, and if he comes back to WWE, I kind of hope he keeps that persona. I don't think he will, Chrissy. You're right.
No, he won't. And they won't allow it either.
They got to keep that going with what he's doing. Yeah. And I've watched a lot of podcasts. I've watched a lot of experts. I even heard a couple pro wrestlers say, along with this kid's, along with his father, even saying it. Dom Mysterio is the heel of the century. You go into SummerSlam the heel. You turn on Rhea and become a bigger heel.
If you kiss Liv Morgan, you become the even biggest, more bigger heel.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even Ray has said it himself that Dom is by far the best heel ever.
Jeez, even Dom is willing to. This is kind of a heelish move. Eat chicken tenders while he's working a match during WWE's holiday.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was one of the little kids, and he's just like munching down on a chicken tender. I'm like, dude, do you even have time to eat in between everything like that? Oh my god.
Yeah, but for him, like you said, Chris, to have the heel with the crowd, barely can speak. I just don't get. He can't be a face. And I know they're going to try turning him a face, but he just cannot. He can't be a face.
It's just you can't go back once you've been a heel and you've gotten that kind of like real, honest to God nuclear heat that the New Day is now getting.
I mean, they'll try it and.
They'll try it. I don't know how people are going to embrace it. That's the big one.
I don't think. I think New Day is probably going to switch back to face at some point.
Yeah, because this heel thing, it just is not working. I'm not going. Heck, even Kofi Kingston's mom is like, "I'm tired of your bleak. Get out of here," and she left.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. You turn against someone as popular and well respected like Big E, you're not going to get a favorable. You're not going to get a favorable result out of it.
Yeah, no, that one was a good one too. Dumb guys turning. We'll see where that goes. I think definitely we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
So all right, let's move on to the heel. We got the faces, the face of the year. So Chris, your face of the year.
I don't know. Is CM Punk a face? I guess in this.
I would say he's more of a tweener, actually.
It was a tough call. It definitely was.
I'd have to say it's between Punk and I guess LA Knight.
Yeah,
I know he's truly a face.
Right. That's not a bad one.
Chrissy, how about you? Your face of the year.
Cody Rhodes.
That one was kind of
no
obvious.
question because
that's why I didn't pick him.
But to finish his story, and he had the fans completely behind him, so much so like, a social media movement was made when he was forced to give up that opportunity at WrestleMania, but he got it back.
Yeah, that documentary.
And we know Dragon Viper. I mean, we all watch the show. We watch him. We've been around him. Dragon Viper is face of the year. He's got to go Cody Rhodes. I mean,
he'd probably be in agreement with me.
He's not going to, but he should.
No, he probably won't. Be like, Cody's annoying. Blah 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 blah.
So I got two, and actually, one. I think next year we're going to be talking about her as a heel of the year, and the other one, I'll tell you right now, Dragon Viper is probably going to throw up. So
no,
I got Belair as the face of the face of the year for the women. And I believe next year we're going to be talking about how she's going to be the heel of the year.
We'll see what happens.
The other one is a guy I got to meet in September. You say his name and he appears.
There you go.
Joe Hendry. I mean, the guy
Joe Hendry.
done it, and I'm calling it right now. He's going to show up at the Royal Rumble.
I hope so.
Yeah.
The pop,
No,
I swear in Indianapolis, the pop he would get if as soon as you hear that buzzer and then you hear his music, it's
He'll be.
it's gonna
and
blow
the
right
thing
off
is,
the
too,
place.
He'll be here
again, if you
approximately.
guys go watch YouTube. Watch
Mhm.
watch the MAW event that he was at. It was Say His Name.
Mm-hmm.
September 21st, I believe it was. He actually teamed up with Joey the Jet Avalon and ended up winning the tag team titles there for MAW.
Ooh.
The crowd went nuts.
He's over.
It was just
so over with.
it wasn't shock. It was everybody was shocked because you bring in a guy to do a one. Well, it was actually his second time.
Oh, okay.
But they bring him in. They put him in a match. You give him the title, so now you know he's coming back
Mm-hmm.
down the road. So hopefully he does at least. I know.
He'll be
but
in.
yeah. So
he'll be in-
that's my faces of the year.
Mhm.
He'll be in town here for their first pay-per-view.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, he is a cool guy. It was fun.
Nice.
So, Chrissy, let's go to your female of the year.
Female of the year. There's a good number of them.
There's a good choice.
I'm trying to. I definitely would probably go if you want female of the year. I'm gonna go Liv Morgan. Her little revenge tour.
Before you get to Chris's
her
pick,
storyline with Rhea Ripley. I mean, we know it's probably going to come to an end in that last woman standing match when Raw debuts on Netflix. But her run so far, at least this year, has been pretty damn good.
yeah.
And her character
And we
work as
all
a
know
heel's been
Dragon
good
Viper's female of the year is going to be Nia Jax.
too.
Chris,
You might not be wrong there.
Yeah, no, that's probably true.
It's probably
honestly,
part.
that's probably right.
Ah,
She puts on the most boring matches, but Dragon Viper
I'm going. I guess Liv Morgan. She won.
Liz Morgan is another good one.
Yeah, she won that
definitely.
Crown Jewel.
Well,
I think.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I'm going to go with another lady I got to meet at the same event I got to meet Joe Henry at. Because, again, she's marketing herself good. She actually showed up and if my son was here right now, I was kind of hoping he'd be home to give his review too. But when she showed up at the Royal Rumble this past year, I lost it. I was just like, oh my God. I literally turned into like a teenage girl seeing Justin Bieber for the first time.
Oh, no.
And then I got to meet her, in September with Joe Henry. And I think, and this is another one too, where I think she's going to be showing up back at the Rumble as an official member of the WWE crew. And that's Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's
I think she's going to be there. I think she's going to be, and the feuds that she could have with Niall, with Baszler, with Cargill, with Belair.
I mean,
she's
amazing.
I got signed of her. Belair has her up in the torture rack, so I had her sign that one. So hopefully, if I get to meet Belair, she can sign the other part of that. So, all right, Chris, your male wrestler of the year.
Male wrestler of the year. I guess Cody Rhodes.
Chrissy?
Cody. No question.
Dragon Viper picked Randy Orton, of course.
No, I thought he picked Riddle.
I thought so too. I'm like, nope,
second.
not this. Nope, Riddle's not there anymore, so that doesn't count.
Yeah.
But this is wrestler of the year, so it could be anywhere.
I'm going to go AEW side because as I was researching, matches of the year, this and that of the year, this guy's name popped up at least on half of the matches that I've seen on different reports. I got to watch this guy some more because, I must be missing something, but the matches I have seen, he has put out some bangers. And that's Will Ospreay for AEW.
Watch some of his New Japan stuff. I think you will really like it.
Oh yeah, no, I totally get it, and
Yeah,
they had
and
some of
he-
that New Japan wrestling in
Yeah,
there.
oh
or
god, yeah, you
that,
should.
but
If his match at last night's World's End pay-per-view against Kyle Fletcher in the Continental
yeah,
Classic, I mean, that was for me one of the matches of the night on that event. During that whole thing, I think it was one of the matches of the night, in my opinion.
yeah.
Because
No,
they
definitely.
we're like friends, but they're really going at it.
I definitely got to watch more of this guy and really get in tune with him because,
Oh, I like
like
him
I
a lot.
said, I googled matches of the year for 2024,
Mhm.
and I would say every list that had like 10, 20, 15, 30, Will Ospreay was at least on half of them.
Yep. There's one match from AEW All In London this year when he went up against MJF.
Yep, that was on there.
That was great. That was like definitely one of those for that event was match of the night for me. It was really good.
Yeah, that guy.
He's a star. He's a
and
star.
I believe he's come out and said that he's never going to sign with WWE, but that's a guy that they're missing out on.
Yeah, they are. The reason why he said he's not going to sign with WWE, he's in a serious relationship with a fellow British wrestler who happens to have a son, and he wants to be there for her and her son. So, and AEW gives him the opportunity to spend time with her and her kid. Okay, it's not his child; it's the child of a friend of his that she was married to.
Gotcha. Okay.
But he is a father figure to that little boy.
But you know how. But you know how.
What's that, Chris?
Never say never.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Never say never,
but
I just feel like AEW's schedule help is something that it works for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And again, with Vince out, maybe Triple H is a little bit more flexible and stuff like that.
Maybe.
You just never know. So that's our awards. Again, was kind of hoping a couple more people would have joined us, but
we could do something like newcomer of the year.
So we got some time left here.
Ooh.
Let's go into 2025. Let's give out some predictions. Like Chrissy. Let me think of some things here. By the end of 2025, this wrestler, female, male, or you can say both, will have won the big title at least once.
I will go by the end of 2025, and we were just talking about him. I can see Will Ospreay being the All Elite Wrestling World Champion by the end of this year.
Okay,
and I feel like he's capable.
How about on the women's side?
Women's side, I would say maybe Rhea Ripley will still be women's champion by the end of this year because I think she will have beaten Liv Morgan in Raw on Netflix.
Okay.
Because I think
she's gonna run the whole year with it.
She's probably gonna run the whole year with it, or I could go Julia in NXT will beat Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, Julia Hart. That was a big one too. A nice return.
Yeah. Oh, Julia Hart. Yeah, that was great. And I'm referring to Julia, the Japanese wrestler who's in NXT, who's really making a splash.
Yeah.
She's gonna go up against Roxanne Perez at New Year's Evil.
Chris, for you, same question.
Yeah.
By the end of 2025, this male wrestler and female wrestler will have held the major titles at least once. Who are you picking?
On the women's side, I'm going to say Jordynne Grace.
Yeah?
That'd be cool.
On the men's, I'm going to say CM Punk.
Okay, I can see that.
I don't know if he can beat Gunther. Gunther will turn his chest bloody red.
For me, Chrissy, I'll give you Will Ospreay. I think he definitely will get it. I think for WWE though, Braun Breaker is going to get his shot. He's going to get his. He's going to get one of the titles somehow.
One of them. I mean, he's
on the women's side. The obvious choice is definitely Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah. Fashion and Nia.
Without the money in the bank, let's see here.
Where are we going?
Oh God, they're not pushing Ivy Neville that well, and I think
Ivy Nile. No.
Not yet.
What about?
They're not.
I was gonna say, what about
let's
Chelsea?
see.
What about the new women's United States champion Chelsea Green? Do you think she holds that championship for long?
I'm trying to think here. Who?
Okay. Because I'm gonna say no, because I'm thinking Mia Yim is gonna be the one to take it off of her at some point.
Wait. I think we lost Vicky.
Oh crap! I was like, wait, is he still thinking about it? Yeah. But yeah, I asked about Chelsea Green. I don't think she's gonna hold that women's U.S. championship for long because based on what I saw on SmackDown on Friday, I'm thinking Mia Yim or Michin could be the one to take it off of her, maybe.
I
We'll
think
see what
Bailey
happens.
will probably.
Maybe Bailey, or what
Bailey
if Piper Niven turns on Chelsea? She could be the next person who could take. She could take it off her too.
Because now with the additions of these two belts,
Yeah, it
you're
kind of
not
gives the
in
women
that
more of an
category.
opportunity. Oh, he's back.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I
Kinda-
saw you freeze.
I don't know
What's
what
going on
happened.
here.
But my female, you know what? I think Piper Niven is
Piper
going to get a
Niven?
women's title.
Yeah, Chris
one
and
of
I
the
were
major
just
titles.
mentioning. I
think they're
mentioned
gonna do
her as a
something with her.
possibility there.
Yeah. So, guys, by the end of 2025, who's going to be what tag team is going to hold the tag titles?
I think
Chris.
WWE.
I'm
I'm
gonna go to Wyatt
thinking
6.
which two members of the Wyatt Six? Because you can't put Nikki Cross in there because she's the only woman in the group.
Well, we could say
if
Alexa
they
Bliss
do the
if
Wyatt
she
Six, they got to
returns.
do not. It won't be Bo Dallas.
No.
And it won't be Eric Rowan. It'll be the
Nope.
other two.
So Joe Gacy and Dexter Loomis.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably those guys.
I think that's a good pick there, Chris.
Yeah, I'm
How about
thinking
you?
for which one?
For tag team.
Oh, me for tag team. I'm thinking Motor City Machine Guns might get their titles back from DIY. I'm thinking maybe. I'm not too sure. As for on Raw side, and I'm thinking, this whole thing with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods turning heel and getting heel heat and acting ignorant about it is they're going to go for the tag team titles on that side, but I don't see the War Raiders giving it up.
I think I like New Day is going to get the titles at least once.
At least once.
Yeah. But I think it's going to be American made. I think it's going to be the Creed brothers.
Okay, Creed brothers. Yeah, I'm thinking Chad Gable might want to go after
the Raw
Stone Cold
side.
himself.
Let's see on the Raw side. God, they haven't used Pretty Deadly that well.
No, they haven't.
No.
Street Profits, they're still trying to figure out who attacked them. I think I know.
I mean, you almost got to think the Street Profits are going to do it. I mean, they haven't had the titles in a while.
No, I mean, you got to give them a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean,
at least once this year, so at least they could say they had them.
Now, what I could see happening is New Day is are close to winning the tag titles, and they kind of do like a Jimmy or Jay Uso kind of thing where Big E pulls them out of the ring, and cost New Day the match, and then you see a New Day match pretty much with all three of them. If
be a triple threat or a 2-on-1 handicap match.
Yeah,
could be.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have liked to see how that storyline would have turned out if Odyssey Jones did get in trouble.
That was the original plan.
I really wanted to see how that would have turned out.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else can we predict on here? Are they down to the final two for the women's IC title?
I believe so, and I think the winner, or no, they're down in the final four, and the winner will move on to Netflix's premiere.
They'll fight tomorrow, and then the final two will fight on Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
Who do
Yeah.
you got left in that, Chris?
I think I know
I'll
Lyra
have to
Valkyria
look.
is
I know
is in
Io
this
Sky is
tournament.
one of them.
Mm-hmm. Io, Dakota Kai.
Even though she was eliminated, she.
I think she got put back in
I'm
because
trying to think.
one of the participants got attacked.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking too.
WWE. So let's see here. All right, so it is Dakota Kai versus Zoe Starks.
Mm-hmm.
Valkyria
Lyra
and
Valkyria.
Io
Yeah.
Sky.
Yeah.
I got a friend who's hoping for Dakota versus
I
Lyra.
think Zoe Stark wins it.
I'm thinking Lyra Valkyria is probably. I'm going to go. It's a toss up between Lyra Valkyria and Dakota Kai. Either one of those two will probably win.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going
Chris, how about you?
Lyra. I'm going Lyra. Valkyria.
Okay, gotcha. And of course, Dragon Viper would say that he's going to go and get some snacks at that because it'll be a boring match.
Damn.
So, guys, when does Tiffany cash in?
Raw.
SmackDown.
Raw on 6?
Mm-hmm.
Or SmackDown on the 3rd, on the first 3-hour episode of that program.
I would think you want the whole world watching.
You probably would.
Well, the thing is, though, if she cashes in on the, I mean,
They've been teasing
if I'm
Tiffany Cash in a
NXT,
night.
I'm pushing for her to cash in on
I think
the premiere for sure.
Right.
But if I'm WWE, God, do they do it at the Rumble? I mean,
That's another possibility, depending on.
I mean, she's got to cash in sooner.
Yeah.
Now. I mean, anytime.
I know. That's like if you
They've
look
been
at the
teasing it
the only
forever.
woman who has held that women's Money in the Bank briefcase the longest was Carmella,
I remember that.
because she waited for the SmackDown after WrestleMania to cash in on Charlotte.
She's also the first person to win it twice.
First time I don't count that because that chinless idiot James Ellsworth got the briefcase and then gave it to her.
I
So I
know.
don't count that at all. I don't.
I don't either. But that's
Yeah.
funny. But no, with this Netflix deal too, whenever there's a taped episode or
Mhm.
in another country, instead of waiting till like 7 or whatever, it's gonna be on
Yeah.
like at noon.
So, speaking of Netflix, if I read the reports right, we're going to get Dragon Viper's favorite commentators back in
It's true.
Michael
Pat
Cole and
McAfee
Pat.
and
Yes.
Michael Cole.
He's the top face of 2024.
Yes.
Yeah, that is Dragon Viper's right. Top face of 2024. You are
Right.
on that one.
Yeah, but he will be on that. That's confirmed by WWE.
And
He's on,
McAfee
Saturday
himself.
Main Event.
Yep.
No, I like.
I think that means
honestly,
Joe
I love
Tessitore and
McAfee
Wade
as,
Barrett are gonna do SmackDown on Fridays. Now that college football's season is ending and Tessitore doesn't have to do College Game Day on ESPN as well.
Yeah, but if I remember right, him coming back though, I think is a full time gig. I don't think he's going to take time off. Or
Yeah, I don't think he will either. I think this is going to be full time
commentating.
for him. Yeah.
Even though it was funny with was it this year
Mm-hmm.
or it might have been last year when McAfee was on at the Georgia Bulldog game
Mm-hmm.
and sang the Georgia Bulldog song.
And he's like, I'm picking Alabama.
Facing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. No.
Everybody's been making their rounds on Netflix this
Yeah.
past Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Been making it
And
wrong.
Morgan
Right?
was at the Steelers game.
Let's see. I think
Well,
it was.
that's the
No, wait.
thing is, you know,
No, Liv Morgan was at the Ravens Texans game
Okay, yeah,
on
that's right.
Netflix. Yeah.
And then Punk was
Raquel
up here.
Rodriguez was with her. I saw some
And
pictures.
see, that's one thing that
Cross
right
promotion.
now WWE has over everybody is, NXT or not even NXT, but AEW and Impact
Mhm.
is that every time they're in the city, those wrestlers show up at the sporting events.
Mhm.
They're doing these other meet and greets. I mean,
Mhm.
I barely see WWE or AEW guys doing that.
I mean, sometimes they
That
do
just
like
shows you
talk
how
shows
much
in certain
top
cities.
dog WWE is.
Yeah. Well, then again, AEW has only been around for approaching 6 years, so they still have a ways
No,
to
but
go.
they got big names. It's not
They
like they
do.
came out of nowhere with these. No,
Mhm.
They're
they
doing
got-
other things that doesn't really matter to the company, it seems like.
I mean,
Right.
you guys, you would think, being that Tony Khan owns the Jags,
Well,
they would
he's-
Yeah,
show
put
up
'em
on
in.
the Jags games. They don't even show there.
they've done like I think when the Jaguars would have some Thursday night games, some members of the AEW roster would go to the Jaguar Stadium to watch the games and cheer on the Jaguars. So
Yeah.
they've done.
There's a-
He's done that before.
There was somebody from AEW, I can't remember who, was at a Jags game, I think.
Oh, I think I know.
And they got
Harley
booed.
Cameron, I think.
What's that?
Probably. They got booed.
Harley Cameron. She's a Aussie wrestler. She's in AEW and she has gone to some Jaguars games and I've seen them on her Instagram. So
Okay.
she's become a fan of the Jaguars. Actually, I feel bad for her though.
But yeah, whoever was there got booed.
Oh jeez. Okay, so it probably wasn't her. It was probably I'm thinking it's someone else.
All right. So with that being said, I'm trying to think. Do I got any more to point out? Let's see. No, I think I'm good. You guys got anything you want to throw out there?
Mm-mm.
Chris, you got anything?
I think I'm good. I mean, it's going to be an interesting 2025 for wrestling. It all kind of kicks off with AEW's new TV deal on the 1st with
Yep.
the
Fight for the Fallen.
Yeah, Fight for the Fallen, their archive,
Mm-hmm.
heading over to Max, and then you have SmackDown going to 3 hours. That's going to be interesting. I don't think SmackDown's been ever 3 hours.
I don't get
They've
that.
never been 3 hours, as far as I know.
You take Raw off of 3 hours, you put SmackDown on 3 hours.
But when they move to Netflix, it will be 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's going back to 3 hours? Okay.
It
Yes.
is.
Okay, gotcha.
So you're going to have 8 hours of wrestling, at least for WWE, in a week.
All right.
Yep. Because NXT on the CW is 2 hours.
Too, if I recall, I could be wrong. I know earlier in the year there was reports out there that Vince McMahon's no compete clause expires at the end of this year or sometime in January. I expect we're going to get a lot of rumors of Vinnie Mac showing up on AEW soon.
Nope.
Coming in at number 30. Just kidding.
No chance.
Which, honestly, Chrissy, I'm with you. I don't want to see Vinnie Mac in AEW.
As far as I'm concerned, the
I
last
want to see
name
Shane
McMahon
Mac.
is so tainted. AEW would be smart not to even talk to him.
No, you're right.
There's
You're
still
right.
some people thinking Shane
No
McMahon.
talking to Vince.
I don't
You are
think
exactly
Shane's
right.
interested. I highly doubt Shane's interested.
But Shane O'Mac has to show up.
Who?
Shane O'Mac.
No, he won't.
Oh,
There was supposedly
God,
supposedly some discussion he would show up, but nothing. The talks fell through and nothing came of it. That's what I heard.
Smart.
So, but I think even Shane knows it may be better he just not go there because of his last name being tainted because of his death.
But again, money talks, and if both companies want the rivalry and the ratings to go up,
Mm-hmm.
McMahon has to show up on AEW.
I'm not 100% sure about that.
Well,
I'm
that
not-
or else
I'm
AEW
just
needs
not-
to start really
Hornswoggle.
pumping out their talent.
It could be
AEW
Hornswoggle.
got to JDS.
Well, there's
No,
some
he'll bring you
AEW
ratings.
talent has gone to WWE, like All Ego Ethan Page right now. He's in NXT. Sean Spears, who was in WWE, went to AEW and is now back in WWE. Lexus King, Brian Pillman Jr., AEW is now in WWE. So some
Cody
talent
Rhodes,
has Cody Rhodes, of
Jade
course.
Cargill.
Jade, yep.
Yeah.
But I just don't see
AEW needs
anyone
that
with
one
the last name
big
McMahon
name
going to
to,
AEW. I just don't.
AEW needs that one big name to
Mhm.
pull a WCW and get the ratings
Oh.
going.
One thing I do want to point out too, Christy, what do you think of Rampage having their final show?
And ending the way that it did,
How did
it
it
was
end?
a
I
pretty
didn't
good
see it.
episode, but I feel like if you really wanted to end it, you just don't have the Death Riders go into the production truck and start beating the crap out of people
Mhm.
and then just it going completely to black. I would have just done like one more match and then it's like, this is the end of Rampage. Thank you. Take a bow, turn the lights off, and that's it. But that's just how I would have done it. Probably would have been lame and boring, but the brawl at the end of Rampage was what got people talking.
Oh, I have to watch that.
You'll have to check
Well,
it out.
speaking of weird endings to matches and stuff like that, as we close out our show, what is it with the CM Punk coming out in the towel?
That was at a holiday tour event. He was actually wearing a thong.
Well, I get he wasn't fully
I don't
You
know.
out
that.
there, but
I just
You
saw the
wanted to
video
be
footage. I'm
another
like,
wrestler.
no. It's like covering my face and my eyes.
I can't believe they
I
did
don't
that.
want to look at.
It almost looked like he came out of the shower or
He
something.
did. He had a shower cap on.
Yeah, shower cap on, towel wrapped around.
It's like they.
I was worried for every person there who brought a child with them because WWE is supposed to be PG. And I'm thinking, this is not PG. I don't care if it never makes it on television. This is not PG.
It's like they went to the production, or their production went to CM Punk. It's like, CM Punk, you're on in 2 minutes. You're on
He's
in
like,
2
oh my
minutes.
God. He throws the towel over his waist. He's like, I'm going out there.
Yeah. So, do
Yeah,
we
that
think
would
that
be-
Triple H will get involved somehow in the ladder match with Owens and Cody Rhodes?
Maybe.
But I think because of his heart, it would be better just to not get involved. I mean, we saw what happened at Saturday night's main event in New York. He and
But
what
KO
you
kind
could-
of got into a confrontation.
But what you could do is have, like, if you end the Cody KO rivalry,
Mhm.
you could have and KO wants another match with somebody.
Mhm.
Triple H can go, all right, but I'm going to choose the opponent.
Yep.
Like, it's going to be Triple H versus Kevin Owens, but Triple H will pick somebody on his behalf.
Yeah. That would be
Yeah,
really good.
I think you mentioned that before. So
Yeah.
I
Because
don't know.
if Triple H didn't have a pacemaker or something like that, he would get in the ring with KO and beat his brains in.
But he could be somebody's manager if
He could be.
needed, I'm sure.
Well, it seems content being coming on camera every once in a while, and mainly being backstage producing and coming up with all the creative stuff that he's coming up with for WWE that obviously has been working.
Well, and that's the one thing, that's the one thing that Vince had a problem with was,
Mm-hmm.
NXT. Triple H was over that, started being popular. Then,
Yep.
downsized.
He got jealous. Vince got
He got
jealous.
jealous.
We'll just
It's
say
like the NXT was Triple H's baby, and it was growing. It was becoming popular. People were liking the wrestlers there. They were loving the matches, the takeover pay-per-views, all that stuff. And when any one of those wrestlers made the main roster, Vince would
even
just
the
screw
one year
everything
that
up.
they
Be like,
did
"See, there's
the
nothing special
triple
about this guy. What are
branded
you talking about?"
SummerSlam or
Right.
Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they
that
had
was-
like the brand thing with Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT, and NXT actually did really well.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And Vince was like, "God damn it!"
So
And
I'll bet it
that
was
all
fuming.
started when the plane ride from Saudi Arabia didn't go as planned, and they had to
Nope.
have NXT stars,
Mhm.
invade WWE programming. It was mainly SmackDown.
Right. It was, but it worked.
Yep.
And ironically, Pat McAfee was on that broadcast.
Mhm. He was.
Yep.
which was
So
weird.
with that being said, guys, what's your final thoughts? Chrissy, we'll start with you.
Let's just thank everyone for watching. This year wrestling has been pretty interesting. Lots of ups, lots of downs, twists, turns, you name it. But it's been one hell of a ride, and it's been fun.
Chris?
2024 was fun. 2025 is going to be fun too. And I guess, as they say, see you next year.
Yeah, 2024 was a blast. Especially for me, got to meet some wrestlers locally here that got to grow up watching. 2025, I hope, is better. Hopefully, we get some more rating awards with AEW. Hopefully, they can start going, get things. Who knows? Impact. Hopefully, that Forbidden Door still opens up. We see that because I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, just got a text from Viper. Dominic Mysterio is going to win the world title in 2025.
Which one? Oh, world title.
No,
he just said all of them. He just texted me, said all the titles Dominic is going to win. So with that being said, keep checking us out all week long, different shows. Happy New Year's to everybody watching. We'll see y'all next week on Between the Ropes. Have a good one.
Good night.